My name is Anita Kelly and I basically had 4 babies, Tom, James, Charlie and Luke. They're quads, born on the 28th of February, and I've been using Communicare since May.
Quads have been under the care of Communicare now for 6 months. We took them home when they were just coming up to term gestation, and we provided home care with carers for 5 nights per week. It was a huge undertaking for their mum to take 4 babies home at the one time, considering she had a 15-month-old as well.
The boys were born in an emergency C-section on the 28th of February in the Rotunda Hospital. At the very start they were very sick because they were so premature. They had chest drains, they were on oxygen. Thought we'd never get them home, but thankfully with the help of Communicare, we've got them home happy and healthy and on this far.
The initial discharge process home is very exciting, and the parents think it will never happen. Before the child comes home, or before we actually take on the care of the child, we meet the parents and we carry out a needs assessment, not just the physical needs of the child, but what the parents expect from us as a company and expect from our nurses as carers.
First time I met with Sinead, she just came across as such a friendly, nice person, so made things a lot easier before the girls even started. So Sinead just asked me like what I needed for the boys and what requirements they had and everything. So we went through all that. Sinead done up care plans and read through them, was happy enough with everything, and she selected the girls who had experience in babies.
What Communicare are doing to ensure that paediatric home care is sustainable and it is the future is to bring as much of the routines and thoughts from a centre of excellence or any paediatric hospital into the community. And in doing that, we provide care plans, vital signs sheets, we provide tracheostomy training, ventilator training, enteral feeding training, seizure management. We offer all our nurses any of these courses through centres of excellence because these families need to keep these children at home. Children remain healthier when they're not in the hospital environment, and it also brings them on cognitively.
Well, the care plan is very important because, you know, when you come in at night time, you need to know if the baby was sick the night before or how they slept.
They were so premature, like it was very worrying, so like we had to sit up with them all night. The babies were being fed like every half an hour when they came home first because they were just really slow to feed and everything, and they were very used to get sick a good bit.
They were nursed on apnea monitors initially because they would have been at higher risk of cessation of breathing.
When the boys went home from hospital, they had heart monitors on them because they were premature and they had a C-section. And it was just basically at night time to check their breathing and stuff like that. So we started at 11 p.m. and finished at 7 a.m. At the beginning, the babies used to wake up every 2 hours for a feed. The nights used to be long and busy, but it was worth it, you know. But now the babies are that bit older, like maybe 1 or 2 of them might just wake during the night.
I love to see the girls coming. Sometimes when they come in, the babies are not in bed, so they need to be fed and put to bed. So the girls will come in and give us a hand, feed them and put them to bed, dress them for bed. When they do that, then we'll head off to bed, and they're just great. They have the bottles sterilised and filled with water, boiling water for the next morning. They have bottles made the next morning. If the babies need changing at night, they do that. Or if any of the babies are sick, which they have been in and out of hospital, they'll make sure and take their temperature and give them anything I ask them to give them. Like,
when working with children, it's not just about their physical needs, it's about their safety, their emotional needs and their environment.
So I get monthly visits from my client relationship manager. I know Sinead was a nurse herself in the ICU unit, so she knew a lot about babies and everything, which is great. Even when they came home and I was so worried and everything, she used to help me out, or I just text her and she'd help out.
What really gives me joy is to facilitate that transition home for the parents. And we see how wonderful it is for them to bring their child home and settle back into normal family life.
No, I'd say we're as normal as we can be here with 5 small kids under 2. I don't know how we would have coped, especially at the very start when the babies were being fed half hourly. Like, you just finish one baby and it's time to start feeding another baby. I know at the weekends we needed 2 or 3 to help out, so I actually don't know how the girls even done it on their own. Some of the nights they were just brilliant. I would say I have benefited more from the presence of the carers, just mentally. Like, oh look, they're great. They're just a great help, and as I said, we love to see them coming.
The quads, because our carers have grown with them throughout the last 6 months, Our carers adore them. They love coming here to mind them every week, and they keep in touch with Mum then when they're not working. And I think they will stay in contact with them, because I certainly feel I'd love to follow their progress, and I know our carers would love to follow their progress as well.
The quads are on Facebook and different parts of the media, and I always make sure that I'm tuned in to watch them, because I love them, they're little dogs. It's hard to say goodbye to them, but sure, they're getting older now, and you know, hopefully I'll come back someday and say hello to them and see them.
I know at the start with myself and my husband we were very nervous about Communicare coming, but just over the last few months Communicare has just become one part of our family, and we've become part of their family really. We've got to know them so well, and we're just delighted that Communicare was there for us when we needed them most.
My name is Ted Kennedy. I live by myself with the help nowadays of Communicare. I was diagnosed with motor neuron disease over 27 years ago. The first 20 of those years, I was able to look after myself. But unfortunately, I did such a bad job that in March of 2008, I had to be hospitalised. I spent 3 days in intensive care. During that time, my social worker introduced me to Communicare. Then in January of 2009, I was finally let go home. And since then, I've been in the care of Communicare, and I haven't had to go back to hospital since.
I met Ted almost 6 years ago. Ted is lovely. Ted is very independent.
I work from home for a company called MJ Flood, helping in their remote management support desk. I just got lucky that I picked a career that has allowed me to continue working, even with motor neuron disease.
On the first call that I receive from a client looking for care, I will call out to the client, and I'll sit and I'll chat with the client, and I'll talk about their needs, their medical history, but mainly it's to find out who they are.
When I first met them, they just seemed friendly. They were there to ask me what I wanted, not to tell me what they could provide.
Because Ted values his independence, we were able to put short amounts of time in for small breaks where Ted needs a carer for a small amount of time. We were able to provide that.
They were wanting to change more to suit me than me changing to suit them.
After care starts, I make personal visits once a month to all our clients. I sit down, I have a chat and a cup of tea and just checking to see how they've been. I'll go through the care plan to make sure that everybody has filled in the report sheets, and also it'll give me a chance to have a look and see how the client has been over the past month and if there's been any changes.
They come in monthly to see me. We talk about what's going on. They make sure everything is okay. And so far, everything has been great.
I work with Ted for a long time now, like nearly 5 years. I'm a part of 7 carers who help Ted every day. Because I know him for a long time, I try to do what he likes and the way he likes things to be done without taking his independence.
I'm lucky that I've had only about 7 carers in the last 7 years. So they know me and I know them. There's a rhythm to my way of doing things, and they know that rhythm.
The carers know their client. They know if something's wrong. They know if the client doesn't feel right. The client may not say they're unwell, but the carer will know because they're used to that client. Continuity of care, same carers with the same client.
Ted every day uses a nippy machine at night, which is very important for him so that he can breathe properly and everything. But in the morning he uses a ventilator that he uses independently.
When I was first at a hospital, my carers would leave at 10 at night. I wouldn't see them till 8 in the morning, and I'd be stuck in bed with the alert button, which I had to use on several occasions. And sometimes it took hours for somebody to come on. But now with Communicare, they're with me all night. I sleep an awful lot easier. And if there is a problem, a person comes in from the next room and I'm sorted. Technology is great, but it can fail. And my carers have never failed me.
In Communicare we have this ideal called exceptional care. Having exceptional care is building relationships from the start. We're family run. We're all part of a family. We like the clients to feel part of Communicare.
Yeah, when I come in to work with Ted, I know that I'm coming in a friend's house.
It's like the day without them just seems strange. Communicare is part of my family. They know the way I like to make my tea. They know the way I like my food cooked. And they're just there for me all the time. I've never come to a situation yet where they can't help me accomplish what I wish to do.
I'm very independent. Thank God for being as well as I am and that I'm not a burden to any of the family yet. You know, I'm living on my own and I think it was my family's idea to get a carer in case anything happened to me. My daughter at that arranged, I could have throttled her sometimes. I tell her, she's thrown me on the scrap heap a bit early. Oh, I look forward to Isa coming in, and she comes 3 days a week. She lives in the next block. Well, it's nice to have somebody coming to the house that knows you. I've no other carer, only Isa. You know, like when Isa calls, we make a cup of tea and chat. If I'm not able to make the tea, she makes the tea and we have a good chin wag. She has a dog called Millie, and I'm Minnie. And Millie, Isa and myself go for a walk, and we walk around the road and come back home. We have a good long walk. We have a good half-hour's walk, not every day, but maybe twice a week. I'm trying to outdo my Aunt Nora. She died on her 99th birthday. So if I live to be 100, there'd be a hoolie on this road. If I felt my health was dwindling, I would hope they would look after me to the best of their ability. I know that they would. I trust them very much. I know they're there when I want them. It has made a big difference to me knowing that somebody comes in to see me 3 times a week. Didn't think it would be as good as it is, and I recommend it to anybody. When I first heard that just get me a carer, I could have nearly killed her for doing it, but I'm delighted she did. It was the best thing she ever did for me.